Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello. Thank you for your patience with my late start time slash flexible start time. Let me know if you can see and hear me, please. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 130 people in 10 different countries. Most of it functions as a walkthrough, an all levels healing walkthrough. So you could heal yourself as you watch. The part that's not a walkthrough is in the beginning, where I'm going to overview what we're going to do, and then at the end where I answer a few follow-up questions from people after the healing's done. I can see and hear you. Yay, thank you. Hi from Chicago. Hello, can see and hear you. Hello, hello. Good, good, good. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you so much for your surveys. They always help, and that was good. What we're going to do, well, okay, so I think the two biggest things, most consequential parts of the Sunday healing. This is the third healing in the set of three. If you're healing yourself, you could do any one of these healings on yourself, or even part of one healing on yourself. You don't have to do the whole set of three healings. But of course, I'm healing these 130 people, the same 130 people for all three healings. But anyway, so this is the third healing, right? It's Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. This is Tuesday. On Sunday, we did three things that were sort of like the top consequential things. Other things definitely helped, but the three things that were most consequential was the Akashic Record upload was very consequential for people in a good way. Probably contributing to good sleep. Shift in attitude, having more energy. Then the next thing that was most consequential that we did in Sunday healing was melting the cording bar behind, attached to major chakras that you may have. It's a bunch of stuck energy, but it tends to form a big bar that I didn't really notice before. I know that you can get stuck energy back there, but I don't have a cording bar. I did years ago, but I don't. So it took surveys for me, like reading people and noticing, like, oh wow, look at that. So anyway, so we removed it. We cleared the blocked energy that was forming a bar there. It makes it easier for invasive beings and people to cord if you have a big old stuck bar back there. Plus it, obviously it's very uncomfortable. So anyway, we melted that away, and that was consequential for people. And then I think the other top thing that, as far as results for people, was getting rid of fourth chakra devices. Fourth chakra has to do with motivation, enthusiasm, self-esteem, self-love, self-care, all sorts of good stuff, and positive thinking. And we removed a lot of devices, like funnel-shaped sort of devices or bowl-shaped devices that were messing with the fourth chakra in the front and the back, and that I think also helped people to sort of like a breath of fresh air, kind of to uplift people. So that was nice. So yeah, Akashic Records, melting, Akashic Record upload, melting cording bar, and melting fourth chakra filaments. Also, we did the hearing angels stuff seemed to help as well, and the chakra filaments work, of course. So you could check out that video if you wanted to. There's a summary in the comment section with timestamp links, so you could zoom in on one particular section if you wanted. So that was that. Thank you for your survey feedback on that. You don't have to know which technique benefited you. You just say how you feel, and then I read the energy as I'm looking at your survey. So what I think we're going to repeat today from that, we don't need to repeat the Akashic Record upload. That was good. You could consider doing an Akashic Record upload. I mean, of course, whenever you feel you need one, and your angels can help you make up your mind about that. But you know, you could consider doing one monthly, just as sort of like a regular thing. And that way you don't get backed up on it. You don't get sort of overly full of learning that is better off in your offsite storage. So so yeah, you could do an Akashic Record upload monthly, and you could use that little walkthrough that we did, you know, 2 days ago as the guide for that if you want. I mean, eventually you just learn how to freestyle it. You just do a little extra seventh chakra and creative ring healing at the time, and it's with your intention and angel help. You just sort of, when you unblock it, you just sort of think about, okay, I'm going to let go, and then whoosh, it starts happening. So we don't need to repeat that. On the maybe list is chakra filaments again, just to like maybe geek out on some chakra filament extra stuff, but we'll see about that. That's the maybe list. Seventh chakra devices, I think, is on the definite list for today, just to complement what we did with the fourth chakra devices, removing those. I noticed the same type of thing is going on for, I mean, I think, you know, they're not all funnel shaped, but, you know, it's pretty common that you may have some devices there on your seventh chakra. A lot of people focus on the seventh chakra because it has to do with a lot of invasive people or controlling people subconsciously focus on the seventh chakra because it has to do with your own autonomy, your own sense of identity, your sense of empowerment, your confidence. And so if people don't really like you individuating, they could, you know, focus extra energy there to try to get you to tune out and get in line. So we don't want that. So anyway, seven chakra devices, we will remove some of those. Manifestation wings, I think it's time to, you know, heal and repair and unblock those again. I noticed a good number of people have those kind of shriveled up and blocked up again. It's something that we do on and off. Manifestation wings are, when they're fully healed and properly working as best they can, they look like giant gold angel wings that you have. They're a part of your spirit body, your astral body, part of you. And they generate a ton of gold light when they're properly working. So that kind of, especially with the back of your aura, it helps to keep everything sort of expanded nicely and flowing nicely. And the reason I noticed it was necessary was from surveys. A couple women were filling out surveys about their husbands or their son in one case, and talking about that they're crabby or defensive or like blaming other people in the family for them being upset, and I looked and I noticed that there was a lot of compression in the like middle back aura layers, like layers 5, 4, and 3, and if the manifestation wings, and they were really small and not generating energy, not generating gold light, and so that contributed to this sort of, you know, compression back here. And so if we can get those healed and generating a lot of gold light again, then that is sort of a nice auto wash of gold light for the whole back of the aura all the time. So that should help those layers to expand again. And I'll double check with those specific people. I made a note who they are to see if that does, you know, quickly fix the back of their aura or not. So anyway, manifestation wings is on the definite list for today, which is nice. There's a video. It's like 48 minutes, 49 minutes or something that is very in-depth with manifestation wings as a walkthrough. If you did want to geek out on that as a standalone video, there's certainly one of those. But we'll do a shorter version today. That'll be good. Now, about binge watching shows, um, or otherwise being unproductive. Um, it's not 100% theme related, but it kind of is, so it'll become apparent as I talk. But binge watching shows, sometimes people watch a whole bunch of shows at once, they kind of zone out, and they may be enjoying the shows and they may be moderately present, but it's just, or even very present as they're binge watching, but it's just like their mind just doesn't want to deal with anything new and, just wants to watch some little program, some little drama and get into the details of it and just kind of, it's kind of like hitting pause mentally, right? And so that's fine, I guess, if you didn't have limited number of hours in the day, but after a while, when you binge watch, and I'm speaking from personal experience as well, you lose hours of your day to it potentially. And, there are other things that are really amazing that you could be doing that, you'd feel much better about. So while I haven't, personally been stuck, well, maybe sometimes, but most of the time I haven't been stuck in shame about binge watching. It's just sort of like, it's more fun to feel inspired and clear and ready for a new adventure rather than feeling like you need to just shut off and watch Netflix for 4 hours. So I've gotten some clarity recently on like, what makes a person feel the need to shut off and binge watch for 4 hours, so that, because if you could fix that in like 5 minutes of like freestyle meditation or something, then you wouldn't binge watch. And it's probably similar to comfort eating, by the way. That's not really an issue that I've had recently, knock on wood. But the whole thing where your mind turns off. Although comfort eating, generally the person is pretty out too. Binge watching, you could be fully present and just your mind just doesn't want to deal, with new things. But comfort eating, you're probably more out of your body as well as your mind shutting off. Because, comfort eating is like pretty unhealthy. It's not just that you lost 4 hours, it's that you ate total crap and way too much of it and, whatever. But anyway, I think manifestation wings will help with not feeling the need to binge. Uploading Akashic Record uploads helps with not feeling the need to binge. But we did that 2 days ago, the upload of Akashic Record. So if you want, like, you can make like an anti-binge list and, and just keep up with these things regularly so that you won't feel the need to comfort eat or binge or whatever. And I would definitely put regular Akashic Records on that uploads on that list, but also manifestation wings, having them, strong and generating a lot of gold light on that list, but also clearing out energy that's been dumped, specifically in the front of your aura, like in this inner, like first layer and second layer, right by your belly. That level of, if someone dumps there, that can cause your mind to want to turn off, or also if people dump on your spiritual path, that can also cause your mind to want to turn off and, binge watch or something. So I would say those 4 things could be on your anti-binge list. Akashic Record upload, manifestation wings, clearing dumped energy from first and second layer in the front, and clearing dumped energy from your spiritual path. So hope that helps. And so we will do 3 of those things today. And we already did the manifestation wings 2 days ago. So it'd be interesting to see in your surveys if in the near future you stop binging or you still do it. Or if the binge is much shorter. Binge watching. So, and there are other things that are on the maybe list, but I don't want to spend forever previewing them, so we'll just do them. Or not. And you'll find out exactly what we did within a day looking at the comment section. There'll be a detailed healing summary with timestamp links so you can jump around and repeat something or skip something as you wish. But if you feel really awful, don't skip the 4 essentials that we'll do towards the start. What I would say is, oops, sorry about that. What I would say is just learn to freestyle the 4 essentials. You know, learn to freestyle meditate, because these live streams are gargantuan. And, you know, you just may not have the motivation or be in the mood or have the time for, you know, a 2.5 hour live stream to rewatch it every time you need to meditate, right? I mean, sure, yeah, half listen to it while you're feeding pets, or listen to it and meditate along, sure, but there are times when you're not going to want to spend that much time and you need your 4 essentials. So learn to freestyle your 4 essentials so you can do them within like 5 minutes and get them done, so that you're never really suffering, you know, for any period of time needing to do your 4 essentials and not doing them. Hope that makes sense. But we won't do them today in just 5 minutes. I mean, I could do them easily in 5 minutes if I just shut up and didn't talk, but I'd rather explain as I work for my newbies. And I mean, it seems like a lot of people like the walkthrough idea, so whatever, that's what we'll do today. Oh, right, so we'll do our 4 essentials, and then we'll do all sorts of theme related, and really stuff that helps with everything. Helps stuff that keeps you less bingy and more motivated and hopefully productive and focused. The next, the triplet set coming up, the next set of 2 healings, which is so soon. It's amazing. It's like starts in like 5 days, Sunday and Tuesday, this coming Sunday, and then a week from today. Those are the 2 healings of the triplet set. And if I recall correctly, the theme is like productivity and decisiveness, which I love. So that'll be a nice complement to the work that we're doing right now. I hope that's the theme. I'm not going to look it up right now, but you can look on my website, janetwrightmeetings.com. I'll look it up, fine. So I don't want to misquote. Yeah. Productivity and decisiveness. Possibly also clearing avoidance, clearing boredom, clearing procrastination. Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Catching up on chat for a second. Can see and hear you. I can see and hear you in foggy San Francisco, California. Someone says, hi Janet, thanks for the healing. You're welcome. Hi Janet, happy fall. Crisp vibes from Italy. Hello, hello. Yeah, I have my whole extended family cramming up in my 7th chakra, I bet. Yeah, well, you can heal yourself in this live stream and fix it up. Someone says, when I'm working at home, I binge watch a lot of reality shows. Definitely gets me stressed. Yeah, I've binged all sorts of different shows. But, you know, it's just too much. I'm at the point now in my life where it's just, I'd rather have fun. I mean, it is fun, but there are other things that I find more fulfilling and more exciting and more interesting. And obviously not needing to turn your mind off is more enjoyable. If you need to turn your mind off, something's wrong, you know, so yeah, this is a good theme. It's like a sub-theme. Stop binge watching. Help yourself to stop binge watching. Someone says, I binge watch and comfort eat at the same time. Ooh. Yeah, well, you definitely need your anti-binge list. Yeah, that's hardcore. That's a bummer. So sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you followed along in the one who says binge watching comfort eat. If you didn't do the Akashic record upload from the live stream 2 days ago, check that out, because that's item 1 on the list of 4 anti-binge ideas. Obviously, too, your 4 essentials are good for not binging. Like if you had a lot of damage in your energy field, that could make you want to binge, but that's definitely not the case for me. I mean, and a lot of you guys, you're dealing with, you're taking care of your 4 essentials, and you're still binge watching or still being unproductive all weekend. And so it's something more than that. It's something beyond that. So that's what we're going beyond. But I swear we will fit in stuff to help identity, self-acceptance, and authenticity as well. It's just that theme, identity. Okay, what the angel showed me is identities, self-acceptance, authenticity. It's like as if it's like the rug that you're standing on. Like your identity, how authentic you are with yourself and others. It's something that you can get really attached to the way you are now. And so in order to be able to change out that rug and bring in a new one for yourself, you need to like kind of levitate just a little bit to get off the rug, or step off the rug. But so how we're going to get your energy so much lighter that you're not overly reliant on the status quo of your identity is manifestation wings. That'll levitate you a little bit. And clearing your path, clearing the dumping, so that's how it's interrelated. Like, because if you're in this dumpy, binge state of mind, you're not really ready to change your identity, I mean, unless you're so fried because you're processing. But anyway, long story. Let's do this stuff. It'll help. And it will be identity related. Especially that removing the devices from the 7th chakra, but also, you'll see some other stuff too. You'll see, I promise. I'm going to get my tea into a heat insulated device because I'm tired of cold tea during the live stream. No more cold tea. Oops. It is honeybush tea. Again. Oh, and there are some brands of honeybush tea that are better than others, by the way, because I used to drink a honeybush tea brand that wasn't anywhere near as tasty as this one. I mean, not like it's the most delicious thing you've ever had, but there's a difference in quality in different brands. So if you ever need a brand suggestion for honeybush tea, you can comment under the video. I'll post the Amazon link. Alrighty. Okay, so now I will finally be quiet and for about 3 minutes while I finish my prep and say hello to the 130 people telepathically, make sure they're ready. And then I'll start the healing and you'll see me go like that. That's how you know I started. And then soon after that, I will talk out loud and the rest is a walkthrough as I'm healing. Oh, and it's October 11th, and right now my time it's 11:11. So it's 11:11 on October 11th. It's cute. But anyway, so the 15th of October is this Saturday, and that's when December healings go up. December. Hard to imagine, but that's when the December healing sets go up on my website for purchase. On or just after noon my time, probably, but I'm usually like 7 or 8 minutes late on that, but occasionally I'm on time for that. So noon my time Pacific, which means 2 Central, 3 Eastern in the US. And if you need translation and what that is in Europe, etc., on Europe, the Middle East, etc., that then let me know and I will translate for you. But anyway, yeah, so this Saturday, October 15th, is when December healings go up on my website. And they'll sell out in about, definitely under an hour, just because December is a pretty, well, they always sell out in under an hour these days, plus December is a pretty awesome time to get a healing, or several, or as many as possible. Plus you can get your loved ones healings that you're going to be around so that their energy, so they're not, hopefully not as cranky and awkwardly unpleasant. Okay. So I will be quiet now for 3 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Okay, thanks for waiting. So when you heal yourself, one option, especially if you are not, in public with strangers, but if you're able to move your hands, it's a great way to heal yourself. You make a copy out in front of yourself with your intention of your whole energy system, and then you use gold light from your hands to comb through and repair and unblock and heal yourself. As you heal your copy, you're healing yourself. So you don't have to be able to see energy to do it. You just make it with your intention. So you make a copy of all 17 of your auras out in front of you. Yes, you do have 17 auras, even though that's a lot. And then you have your physical body and your astral body inside those auras. And then you have your two groundings that connect you to the core of the earth, astral body and physical body grounding. So your copy doesn't have to be everything all at once all the time. Sometimes if you're just working on your grounding, you can just have a copy of your grounding by itself. If you're just working on a certain chakra, you can just have the copy of that one chakra out in front of you. You can change and turn your copy and make a different one as you go. Okay, and gold light comes from your hand chakras. Light is generated, energy is generated by chakras, and you have two big hand chakras in the palm of each hand, plus you have fingertip chakras in your fingertips. So you set them with your intention to be metallic gold color, so that's the energy they're generating, even if you can't see it. And because gold is a nice uplifting vibration for healing and unblocking and repairing. So let's do grounding. That's the first of the 4 essentials. And it's okay to teach your kids about grounding. I think, I would think it's essential to teach your kids about grounding, but it's up to you. Obviously they're your kids, but thankfully. But anyway, yeah, I would, like you could say, for example, oh, Daddy was really cranky because his grounding is blocked. His grounding got blocked at work today. It's still blocked. That's why Daddy's cranky. When you get cranky, it's partially because your grounding is blocked. So let's do a tricolor soak together, honey. Up to you, but teaching me about grounding, you could say your grounding is like roots of a tree, or it's like a big waterfall. Anyway, so just imagine a copy of your grounding out in front of you, and run gold light through it, lots and lots of gold light through it. And the point of grounding is to release, also to bring up earth energy, but mostly to just get rid of all the junk that you need to get rid of down to the core of the earth. The earth neutralizes it and sends it to where it needs to go. Cleans it up. So just imagine any blocks to that blocking that downward flow, and just melt them away with gold light from your hands. Sometimes, you know, if you're feeling grief, like in an acute way, like, oh, I'm gonna cry right now, probably your grounding is blocked. If you have grief and you have really good flow and release, you're not like exploding in tears. It doesn't feel as bad at all. It's like 5% feeling bad versus 95% feeling bad. You know, just flow down to the core of you. That's how grief becomes extremely manageable, even if it's just some, you know, really giant grief-inducing situation. Downward flow is the trick. It's the trick. So gold light, unblock that grounding, and you want it wide as you want your grounding. Create your grounding as wide as your whole aura, which is probably, if it's nice and wide, it's as wide as the heel of the palm of your hand if you were to stretch out your arms. So make your grounding red or orange or yellow. And sometimes one of those three colors will work better than the other. So you just use your intuition or guess or try out all three, whatever you want. And you don't have to be able to see energy to set your grounding to that color. It's thought and intention is very effective. Okay, so that's grounding. And then indie grounding is just a little extra grounding thing that is good, helps with boundaries. So you think of your grounding and you think of the outer surface going all the way down of your grounding, and you use a lot of gold light and melt away any hard objects that are stuck in the side there, halfway in, halfway out, maybe just melt the whole thing. Or if you have just energy connections to other people's grounding, just melt those away. Because your grounding and their grounding works better when everybody's grounding is fully separate. Even if they're your kid, they'll be much more well adjusted and have a better day if their grounding is separate from yours. And of course you will have a better day as well. Again, this is indie grounding. You're melting away any sort of attachments around the edges of your grounding and any hard objects. So that your grounding is just for you in concept and reality. And in reality. Okay, cool. So that was indie grounding. So then the second sort of essential, I would say, is aura repair. So just make a copy of your 17 auras out in front of you and go ahead and you can comb through it and just use your intuition and see how many rips there are. You might have, you know, some auras that are kind of scooped out in the top or in the front or in the back or all of the above. You've never healed your auras, or you've never healed the 15 extra, you know, the Wei Qi auras, they may be just like completely missing in the back or half missing in the back. You know, there may be giant rips. But it's all repairable, so don't worry. So let's go ahead and use composite copy technique, because that's a way that you can repair without having good vision yet. Just imagine one rip that represents all the rips that you need to repair in your 17 auras, all the rips that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. So you have that one composite copy rip, and you want to clean it out a bunch because you can get junk buildup in there. And once you clean it out enough, then the gold light will make really good contact and repair the rip fully. So you have your rip. Use sticky gold wax, which is gold light from your hands that hardens and sticks to what's not you, and then you lift it out as a chunk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Okay, more sticky gold wax. Have it stick to whatever's not you. Lift all that out as a chunk. Give it to your angels. So then just keep using more gold light so that the rip repairs up. It just grows back. For those of you familiar with comic book movies, Wolverine could do this with wounds. Like he would get like a big gash in his shoulder, and then you would see, like through CGI, you know, stuff, it would actually like heal up like right away, like within, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds. You'd see it repair itself fully. And that's what aura repair looks like, actually. So, so you use enough gold light and it just repairs itself, just grows back. And there may be a few rips that are still stubborn, but they're good to, so they're not fully repaired, but they're good to repair right now. So just make another composite copy of just those rips that are still not repaired, but are good to do right now. And clean that out again with sticky gold wax. Have the wax stick to what's not you, lift it out. Angels, here you go. More sticky gold wax. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. And keep breathing. Just think about, it's okay. I deserve this healing. It's all right. Just let it grow back. Okay, cool. So that is aura repair, but then we're going to do some extras along with aura repair. So you can get aura, you can have leftover like scarring, hard bumpiness on the outer surface, or inner plates of hard energy, which is aura bruising. And all that hardness and stiffness is a weaker state for your aura. Flowing is always stronger. It has like a cohesion, and it's stronger for you. It stays together better. So the hardness, we want to melt that away. It's just a remnant of having junk thrown at you. So you can put all the hardness in one pile and melt it away that way. So the hardness again is like aura scarring and aura bruising that you have. So just put that all in a big pile, whatever's good to get rid of right now. You can have angels check it. Angels, is this all good to melt right now? But they're going to say yes. And then just use gold light and melt the pile of aura bruising and aura scarring with gold light. Keep breathing. Breathe into your toes, breathe into your fingers. Breathe into your butt. If you have any left over, just say, angels, help me clear that. And then we can do sticky gold wax through your everything, just to get rid of hard objects and stuff. So just gold light around the outer surface in case you have hard object stuck there, sticking out. On the outer surface of all 17 auras, sticky gold wax, and then around the outer surface of your grounding, inside your grounding, inside all your auras, inside your physical body, your astral body, inside all the meridians and chakras, etc. And you want the sticky gold wax to stick to whatever you want to get rid of right now. And just move the wax and the junk to the side. Angels, here you go. A couple of deep breaths. And then more sticky gold wax. Through your everything. Have it stick to everything you want to get rid of, including hard objects. And then move all that junk out to the side. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And then we'll just finish up the repair. Gold light everywhere, but especially in the outer surface, because if you removed any hard objects, that could leave a gash. We don't want that. So as you heal the outer surface of all your 17 auras, just feel for any leaks, make sure there are none left, and if you have any, you feel any energy leaking out, just do a little extra repair there. All right, and recreate your gold buffer zones. That gold buffer zones, I'll link that below in the healing summary, a reference video, an 18-minute reference video to teach you how to make gold buffer zones. They're easy to learn, and they help slow the rate of aura damage, which is good, since you just spent so much time repairing your aura. But again, that as one of the 4 essentials, aura repair is good to learn how to do quickly on your own when you don't have a lot of time. So when you don't have a lot of time, maybe you're not going to do the aura scarring and the bruising and the, the sticky gold wax part. Just, fix the rips so you're not leaking. All right, so that's 2 out of 4 of our essentials. So then we'll do creative rings, which is the 3rd of the 4 essentials. Creative rings are above your head. They, when properly functioning, make a lot of gold light, which is really useful. They make it all the time, so it doesn't keep you awake though, but it just helps you to kind of automatically heal some things, or just not get stuck about stuff as much. So your creative rings, like I said, 3 gold rings above your head, so you make copies of those out in front of you, a copy. So 3 gold rings, it could be a big copy or a small copy, whatever amuses you. And just use lots of gold light. You want to melt away the cords so that these creative rings can just relax and generate gold light and just chill out and not be overwhelmed. Because people can cord these, just like with your 7th chakra, because your creative rings, they just really help you. They're be like a little powerhouse. And so people could focus on that and try to shut them down or try to cord them. If they want to like change your behavior or change your thoughts. One time I had I've had 2 therapists years ago, but late 20s. I went to psychotherapy and for 3 years, and the first therapist was just fabulous, and the second one was, she definitely meant well, but she ended up being I guess overly triggered by me, and so she became invasive. And so my creative rings was one place that she would often cord, and that would make me break down in tears every time she corded my creative rings. It wasn't until later I figured out like how that worked. She wasn't trying to make me cry. She just was trying to make me break up with somebody that, you know, like she knew wasn't good for me and all that, but she didn't want to let me, you know, process and realize on my own. She just wanted to kind of, you know, brainwash me, I guess. So if someone's trying to brainwash you or you know, really affect your thoughts or your behaviors, they could be courting your creative rings. So screw that, right? It's important that you make your own decisions, you learn, you know, and not just be puppeted by somebody just because they feel better that way. Screw that. So just melt away all the cords from around your creative rings. She was right. In that it was a not a healthy relationship for me, but you know, ideally therapy helps you, or good energy healing too, helps you to evolve um, literally and have your wisdom for real, not just be pushed in a certain direction by somebody else. So we are healing, repairing, unblocking your creative rings. You could have rips or cracks, cracks or breaks in your creative rings. So use so much gold light that they grow back without the cracks, without the broken parts. Ah. And as you're doing this and melting the cords and repairing the cracks and the broken parts, the flaps tend to relax and shut. So creative ring flaps, when they are very irritated and open, they look like this. This is like a top-down view, viewing from the top down of your top creative ring. So those are open flaps because you're being corded and it's too overwhelming, and so the flaps open like that. But the more you heal your creative rings and get rid of those cords, then the flaps close shut fully, and that's like the relaxed, safer state for them to be in. And there could be some chords you're just like kind of in denial about. So, and the chords tend to be at like, you know, like say if here's your nose, you know, like, so they'll be like in the front, the very front or the very back or the very side. You know, like if it was a clock, like 12, 6, 3, and 9 tends to be where the chords are, but they could be anywhere in the creative ring or in your seventh chakra. But a lot of times people, for some reason, prefer those places. Okay, so what are we doing? We are doing creative rings, helping them to relax fully. We already repaired them. Let's do some. No, we'll come back to it. I was going to do some seventh chakra work with it, but we'll come back to that. Let's do Seeking Gold Wax for your creative rings. And lift out the junk with the wax. Angels, here you go. Seeking Gold Wax for your creative rings. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. You want like flow through. Your seventh chakra shoots energy upward to your seventh layer, and then it fountains down your seventh layer, down to the bottom, and then your seventh chakra pulls it back up, and then it shoots out again. But you don't want it to have to divert around your creative rings because they're partially blocked. So just unblock the inside of your creative rings enough so that all your seventh chakra energy can just flow right through it. And two, you bring in new energy into your seventh chakra, ideally through the creative rings. Ideally, you don't want to have to detour around them because it feels weird. It makes you feel like like you have less mental clarity if you have detours going on here. So just imagine your creative rings and like right above them and right below them and in through them, and just make sure that's nice and unblocked so that there's no detours. All right, good job. Woo woo. So that was creative ring repair and unblocking. All right, and with a little extra unblocking so there's no detours. No detours. Okay, so the final 4 essentials thing would be chakra repair of all your major and minor chakras. Major chakras meaning your 7 physical body chakras along your spine, your 7 astral body chakras along your spine, along your astral body spine. So that is your 2 sets of 7 major chakras, but all the other chakras are minor chakras. Just I call them that, but they're really important. So like acupuncture points are all minor chakras, chakras that keep the energy flowing in your neck and shoulder energy channels. Those are minor chakras. Your 4.5 chakra, your kundalini chakra below your first chakra, those are all minor chakras. So they're all super important. So you just imagine a composite copy that represents all your major and minor chakras, and you use gold light to heal it. So you want this composite copy to have the shape of a chakra, which is an open cylinder. So cylinder, round opening, round opening. And use so much gold light that you melt away the cords from other people. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings, messing with my chakras, can you recycle them? So again, that was angels. And, it doesn't have to be these words exactly, but that's the idea. You definitely say angels, so you're talking to your angels. And say, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings messing with my chakras? And you can also say any being tunnels, because sometimes there are little passageways that invasive beings have to come in and out, and it's good to get rid of those too. So angels, if there are any invasive beings or being tunnels anywhere in my space, can you get rid of them and recycle them? You can have energy blocks blocking the round openings around the cylinder part, wrapped around there, or stuffed inside the chakra. You can have energy blocks, so just imagine the blocks and melt them with gold light. And as you do that, you're unblocking all your chakras, because this copy represents all your major and minor chakras. And sometimes you can have so much junk in and around the chakras that it blocks the repair process. So lift out any of that junk that's blocking your repair. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, lift out junk that's blocking your repair. Angels, here you go. And again, of course, melt cords going to other people. Lift out any invasive beings, any hard objects, just freeze them all, lift them out. Angels, here you go. About the theme, identity, self-acceptance, and authenticity. There could be baggage or devices or whatever in your chakras that are in the way of your authenticity, in the way of your self-acceptance, in the way of your identity. So just lift out the baggage in the way of all that. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. You could blow it up too if you're healing yourself. So lift out the baggage in the way of your identity. Give it to your angels. Lift out the baggage in the way of your self-acceptance. Give it to your angels. Lift out baggage in the way of your authenticity. Give it to your angels. Ah. Of course, melt all cords. I would only suggest you keep the first chakra cord to your young children, 13 years or younger. But all the other cords, go ahead and get rid of those. Okay, good job. So that was chakra repair of all your major and minor chakras. So we did the 4 essentials: grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, and chakra repair. And again, I would encourage you to challenge yourself, try to freestyle that stuff if you're not a newbie or you're just more motivated, so that you know how to do your 4 essentials fast, quickly. You know, like say before work, say at your lunch hour, say, you know, before a big meeting, or, you know, whenever you're not feeling okay. But you can do them proactively too. Okay, good job. So let's do manifestation wings. Manifestation wings. So those are big gold wings that are part of you as a spirit. They're part of your astral body. So they come and go with you when you go to sleep and you leave your body to go to the astral while your body's asleep. The wings go with you. They're part of you. They generate a lot of gold light if they're properly repaired and expanded and functioning. So I do have, like I said, a 49-minute, very long video. I will link it below, but if you can't find it, you just search Janet Wright manifestation wings, 2 words, manifestation wings. But I will try to remember to link that manifestation wing video below as well, if you are interested in it. Okay, so you imagine them, they're attached, they're connected to your upper back. Not your neck, but like the base of, you know, where your neck meets like your shoulders and your upper back right there. And so that's where starter energy comes from, your shoulder channels, your neck, you know, those channels that go from your neck to your shoulders. They carry surplus energy from your 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th chakras down your shoulders and your arms. And so part of that can go into your manifestation wings. So you can just imagine like the round opening that directs some of that energy to your manifestation wings. So it's like this little route from the shoulder energy channels to the manifestation wings. Neck and shoulder energy channels to the manifestation wings. And you just don't want that to be blocked, because you want to get enough starter energy, is what I call it, to your manifestation wings. It's kind of like, you know, if you're starting a mechanical motor, you could do it with like a pull chain. You know, you have to pull enough to get the motor started. So your starter energy automatically does that. So just unblock that opening that goes to your manifestation wings from your, I mean, it's a closed system, but you know, you can imagine where it goes from the shoulder channels to the manifestation wings, and make sure that's not clogged. And that you're getting enough starter energy to your manifestation wings. Oh, give this live stream a thumbs up if you would like. If you like it, it helps YouTube to show it to other people. So, and then you can just imagine your wings. They may be like small and blackened, like just little ones right here. If you haven't worked them recently or ever, certainly, then they might be small, and they could look kind of like burnt wings, like with a lot of hard black energy around them. So you just want to use gold light and burn all that off with gold light, melt it away, all the hard stuck energy, so that they can start to stretch out and expand. And the energy can flow down the, the top ridge of the wing, like in it, and then the whole thing just sort of becomes a gold light generator. You can get hard objects stuck like right around where the starter energy comes into them. You can get like spears and stuff stuck right there. So you can use sticky gold wax and just lift those out. Come to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax that area. Lift them out. Angels, here you go. And then heal that up. Repair it so it's not leaking. You can also get, well, you can get junk all around them, like caked on the back side of them, but also like the inside of the wings, like between your shoulder and the front of the wing, like in there. You can get junk, so you can just sticky gold wax that little inner area between the inner, sticky gold wax like the back of your shoulders and that inner area of, that goes to the front of the wings. Just sticky gold wax that whole thing. And lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax that area between your physical shoulders and then the front of the wings. Sticky gold wax all that. Lift out what's not you. Give it to your angels. And sticky gold wax the back of your manifestation wings. Lift out what's not you. Angels, here you go. Again, sticky gold wax the back of those wings, your wings. Lift out what's not you. Angels, here you go. And just breathe a little bit. Breathe into your shoulders. Breathe into your hips, into your knees, into your ankles, your toes, your fingers. I'm just using more and more gold light and sending it to the wings, so they they unblock more. Because the more they lighten up and unblock, the more they just get to work generating gold light. It's the problem with me seeing myself as I'm healing, because then if my shirt gets off center, I get all OCD about it. So you can just intuitively check, are your manifestation wings generating enough gold light for you now to start expanding the back of your aura properly, to help you to, get enough motivation in your day, and, to like help give you that extra flow so that you're more and more clear mentally and more ready for new things. So it might not instantly, clear everything, but is it generating enough energy that, within an hour or so, that gold light's going to unblock all that you need to unblock? And if it is, then good, move on to something else. If it's not, just do a little more, unblock the starter energy area, make sure there's no hard junk, make sure they're expanded nicely. You can say too, angels, can you please heal my manifestation wings? Although a lot of times angels want you to do the work, but they can help. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings or being tunnels messing with my manifestation wings, can you recycle them? So that's angels, if there are any invasive beings or being tunnels interfering with my manifestation wings, please recycle them. All right, good job. So that was manifestation wings. Someone mentioned they're fighting a cold in their survey, and we had already done in the last healing GV and CV work, so that really wasn't it for that person. Why they felt, like their immune system was struggling a bit. But that is a good thing to do for your immune system, is repair your GV and CV meridians. But we did a whole speed round with a whole bunch of meridian work, including GV and CV meridians, 2 days ago on Sunday. So I probably won't repeat that today. It was nice though, if you want to do the meridian speed round from 2 days ago. That's healing 2 of 3. That'll be linked below in the comment section. And then you can just use the healing summary in the comment section of that video to find the Meridian speed round. And use the timestamp link. But, okay, so what else can you do to help your immune system? If you've already done that. You can clear energy blocks specifically that are taxing your immune system. Like, as a spirit, you can be stuck on stuff that's weakening you in specific ways. It's kind of like you're spinning your wheels. Like when a car's in a ditch and they're spinning their wheels, right? So there could be energy blocks like that you're stuck on, and these specific energy blocks, you're stuck on them in a way that's sort of using up the energy that should be bolstering your immune system. But rather than having a stronger immune system, you're wasting your energy looping on these energy blocks. Okay, so we're going to just clear energy blocks to benefit your immune system, right? And then we'll do some flower healing to benefit your immune system. Okay, so we'll clear blocks, clear energy blocks, and then we'll do flower healing. Okay, so that was explaining. So now we will do clearing the energy blocks and then flower healing. And we'll probably alternate back and forth between the clearing and the flower healing and the clearing and the flower healing. Okay, so just line up energy blocks that are messing with your they're not messing with your immune system. You're spinning your wheels on them, and that's depleting important energy that should go towards your immune system. So just imagine these energy blocks that are using up, weakening your immune system because you're looping on them. Okay, so just imagine those energy blocks out in front of you. They can look like bricks or rocks or whatever, and just you can bring up red earth energy and soak these energy blocks in red earth energy. You can use gold light to melt cords if there are any from other people going into these blocks, and then you can just use gold light through the blocks to melt them away. You could blow up the blocks too, as long as you blow them up completely. If you're healing someone else, do not blow up their stuff. That's too bossy. Just use gold light. Okay, and once that batch clears, you can keep doing batches. Because if it helps your immune system, it's inherently healthy and gentle, basically. So, what other energy blocks are taxing, are you looping on and therefore taxing your immune system? Just imagine those energy blocks and just use gold light. You can use red earth energy too if you want, and melt cords, blah, blah, blah. But just gold light might do it too. Okay, again, another batch. What energy blocks are you so stuck on that it's harming your immune system? And just look at all those energy blocks and just melt them with gold light. And you're using so much gold light that the cords do melt going into them. Okay, another batch. All the energy blocks that you're looping on, and you're looping on these energy blocks, you're being stuck on these energy blocks, is weakening your immune system. So just line up all those energy blocks out in front of you and just use gold light. You can use red earth energy, bring that up, soak them in red earth energy, gold light, melt away the cords going into them, and melt the energy blocks. If any are still there, just say, angels, please help me clear these. So now we'll do some flower healing, and then we'll do some more energy block clearing. So make energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy. So they'll be like whatever vibration that you need. So they'll be rainbow colors or gold or both. But just make energy healing flowers that you need to help strengthen your immune system. Out of universal healing energy, make as many as you need. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. So make more energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy that you need to help strengthen your immune system. Say, angels, check my flowers, please. And then give them to yourself. Okay, one more time. Make energy healing flowers, as many as you need to help strengthen your immune system. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. All right, so then we'll do a little bit more clearing. Now that you've nourished yourself, it could be that you're more motivated. You're like, okay, fine, now I'm ready. Pull out those energy blocks that you were really train wrecking on subconsciously. Because we want a really strong immune system, right? Fall's coming, winter's coming, you know, pandemic, yada yada, all sorts of reasons, right? Strong immune system is good. So go ahead, put out a bunch more energy blocks that you're train wrecking on, you're stuck on some level, and that energy going to being stuck and spinning around those energy blocks is weakening your immune system. So we don't want that, right? So imagine all those energy blocks and bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, use gold light to melt the cords going into them. You can say, angels, can you check, make sure it's good to clear all this? And then run gold light through the energy blocks and melt them. If you have any leftovers, say, angels, can you help me clear these? All right, we'll do one more batch and then we'll move on, but you can repeat it as much as you want. So put out in front of you energy blocks that you're stuck on, and they're the energy that you're expending being stuck on this, the energy that's tied up, that's stagnant because of these energy blocks, is weakening your immune system. You know, you being stuck on this is weakening your immune system. So just line up all those energy blocks, bring up the red earth energy, use gold light to melt the cords going into them, and melt these energy blocks. So that way you can free up that energy and have a stronger immune system. If you have any leftovers, the angels help me clear that. All right, and let's do just a teeny bit more flower healing on it. So make energy healing flowers to strengthen your immune system, as many as you need, out of universal healing energy. Say, angels, check my flowers. Give them to yourself. More energy healing flowers to help strengthen your immune system as strong as you possibly need. And angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Great job. Woo, woo, woo. So that was clearing energy blocks and flower healing to strengthen your immune system. Good job. So that was 7 minutes of doing. 3 minutes of explaining and 7 minutes of doing. So that's pretty quick. All right. Another thing that can help you free up energy and make it less likely that you're going to binge watch. So this is part of the anti-binging thing. Make it less likely that you're going to binge watch some Netflix show for 4 hours, or you're going to comfort eat, or both. Is because when you do that, your mind just wants to shut off. Right? You could be like, when I binge watch Netflix shows, I am fully present and there's no damage. Most of the time, there's no damage anywhere. But yet, I still can binge watch for hours and enjoy myself, but it's such a waste, you know? It's not as enjoyable as other activities would be, like gardening for me. I have like a long list of gardening projects, plus indoor gardening even. I have outdoor gardening and indoor gardening. So anyway, so as part of the anti-binge, we already did manifestation wings. We did uploading Akashic record uploads 2 days ago. So now we're gonna do the other 2 things for anti-binging, which is clearing off junk off your spiritual path, and clearing dumped junk in the front of your aura right here around your belly, the first 2 layers of your aura. If people dump energy there or dump energy on your path, it can make your mind want to shut off. So that's not helpful. It's anti-binging, and it's also anti like mental train wrecking, where you like spend too much time on social media, or you're just unproductive. Okay. So that was explaining. So now we will do let's get rid of the stuff that was dumped internally first, and then we'll do the stuff that was dumped on your path. So first and second layer around tummy, clear dumped energy. So sometimes what somebody dumps can look like a big rock. Sometimes it can look like a bunch of broken glass, or like a bunch of mud, but usually it's like a big load that someone will dump. Or sometimes it's a couple pieces of energy that someone has dumped. But anyway, just imagine it like all the energy that people have dumped in just like in front of your belly area. It can also get a little internal, like in the meridians there, in your your tummy meridians, your CV, your all the other ones. I'm not going to name them. But anyway, just imagine your tummy area, and definitely in front of your tummy area though too, like first layer, second layer, third layer, and just this in front area of all your auras. So in the tummy area, in front of the tummy area, just imagine the dumped energy and just wrap gold light around it all so you can lift it up like a big chunk. So wrap gold light around your dumped stuff and just lift it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And just recenter, get back in your hips, maybe touch your hips. And touch your knees, wiggle your toes. And again, do it. So just imagine all the dumped energy in front of your tummy, inside your tummy meridians, in your tummy organs, in your intestines, whatever. Just wrap gold light around all that dumped energy. And you can freeze it too, so it lifts out easier. And then just lift it all out, give it to your angels. All right, and so you can also do it as a profile. You can keep doing it that way if you feel that's most effective for you, but you can also imagine a copy and lift it out like that. And one way may be more effective for you than the other at that time, or you can try both ways, whatever. But so you imagine, you know, a profile of you, and then what is dumped in front here and also inside there. And just surround it all in gold light. Freeze it and lift it out. Angels, here you go. Wah, wah, wah. And you can just use gold light in that whole area. And then again, wrap gold light around there and just freeze all the dumped junk and lift it out. Angels, here you go. And just gold light there for the tummy meridians. Those tummy meridians, by the way, they're right here. So they're nice. They're really cool. They're just, you know, energy pathways. They're near the surface of the skin in your body. But anyway, so you can imagine the meridians themselves. You can imagine the dumped energy in front of them and behind them and around them, and just wrap all that dumped energy in gold light and freeze it and lift it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And just, you know, gold light to those tummy meridians. You can do it locally with your hands against your body, or you can, you know, use the copies out in front of you. With the copies out in front of you, you can put your hands in front of them and behind them, you know, like do it as a profile. It's up to you. You don't have to know the direction of flow of these meridians, because the chakras know, those little dots in the diagram, those are chakras, minor chakras or acupuncture points. And those chakras know which direction is appropriate. So you just repair the chakras and unblock them with gold light. And the meridian itself, you can repair that and unblock it with gold light. We already technically did that when we did all major and minor chakras, but now that you got rid of all that dumped junk, it's nice to do it again. So again, just imagine the dumped junk in front of your tummy area, like, you know, maybe a foot out from your skin, like from your skin area to a foot out in front, and then also inside your body in that area. And just wrap gold light around all the dumped energy from other people. And just, you can freeze it so it's easy to lift out in a chunk, and lift it out. Angels, here you go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And again, lots of gold light for these tummy meridians is what I call them. But of course they go in other parts of your body. They don't just exist in your tummy, these particular meridians that we're looking at. But anyway. Wah, 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 wah. Speaking of naming meridians, which, you know, you don't really have to know the names of the meridians to heal them, but I did talk a lot about this zigzaggy one that's in the back of the shoulder right there, that has that cool zigzaggy pattern, that it goes straight a little bit there for 3 points, right on each side. That's the small intestine meridian. I wanted to say that because I had kept saying, gee, I forgot what that one's called. Gee, I forgot what that one's called, like 2 days ago in the live stream. So, you know, when you can't think of something, and then you're like, I know what it is. Yes, I looked it up. It's a small intestine meridian, but you can heal it without knowing the name of it. But it's a cool one. Especially the part where those 3 points are straight. For some reason, I don't know, I especially like that. It's not actually related to the manifestation wings right there, but it can help your shoulders, you know, shoulder tension. Obviously that that small intestine, all these meridians, that one in particular, it starts in your one of your fingers, and it goes up your arm, and it goes there, and then it zigzags in your cheek, which is kind of cool. But so it's not just about your shoulders, but since those points are there, it's nice to have them unblocked and just you, like that, those little points, but also the energy channel. So you can go ahead and imagine just that route of, where those 3 points are, that straight line, the brown zigzaggy where it turns into a straight line as it goes towards your, the base of your neck, I guess. So if you follow that, what's shown here is a brown line, which is your small intestine meridian, both sides of it. Just that straight part with the 3 points. Just go ahead and imagine that as like, in reality, it's good to imagine them as red tubes. Red is a good vibration for all your body meridians, but obviously they can't all be red in the diagram because you wouldn't be able to tell which one from the other. So go ahead and imagine them like 2 red tubes. Just the straight part, and you can imagine the whole thing, but let's just do the straight part right now. And just go ahead and unblock each of those 3 chakras on each side, the minor chakras within the small intestine meridian, the straight part of the small intestine meridian. And just keep on blocking, and so that the meridian can expand and relax and the flow can be better there. And a lot of times you might have like invasive beings that are like in your first layer right near there, because maybe it was leaking, and so they're just kind of shoved in there. Or invasive people. So you can like sticky gold wax and freeze all that up. You can say, angels, can you recycle any beings that are messing with this meridian? And you can say, angels, can you recycle any beings or being tunnels that are messing with any of my meridians, but especially my small intestine meridian. But again, that straightaway part with three minor chakras in it, your small intestine meridian. So the energy, the chakras within that energy channel, so you have like the energy channel going straight at that part where it's like boom, 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 three dots that you see in the straight line. So the energy, the acupuncture points are within that, right? And the blocked part is the direction of flow is going upward towards your cheek. And so you can have blocks. Sorry, my phone is noisy right now. You can have blocks anywhere around the chakra, but if the direction of flow is this way, then the blocks, kind of build up right there, on that side of each of those chakras. So just melt away the blocks. And as you imagine that red tube, of that energy meridian, just see like, is there, is it like half red and flowing, but then the outer half is like black and crusty, and just go ahead and keep melting away energy blocks that span that distance and also inside that meridian. Because you want it to be all red and flowing. And again, you're doing, whenever you work these meridians, whenever you do any of this work, but especially the body meridians, all these meridians, do what's healthy and gentle to do right now. And that's just your intention, so that you don't do too much. Okay, great. So that was, first we were getting rid of dumped energy in your tummy area. Which got me thinking about meridians and tummy meridians. So then that got me thinking about meridians. So then we did just specifically the straight, I'll say the straight part this straight 3-point part of your small intestine meridian. Small intestine meridian, the abbreviation that they use in the videos is SI for small intestine. So the SI meridian. So we did this straight 3-point part in the back of your shoulders. And it was basically repair, but hopefully you didn't need much repair because we already did all repair, but then unblocking too. All right, so good job. That'd be interesting to hear in the surveys, you know, if anyone happens to feel different at all in their shoulders, in the back of their shoulders, or their tummy. Can that work? So we had started to do the getting rid of the tummy dumped energy because we were on that anti-binge project. So as also another part of that anti-binge, another doing for the anti-binge is unblocking your path. Because that's another thing, if people dump on there, it can make your mind just want to turn off and, you know, binge watch shows or binge eat or something, even if all your energy is repaired. That the weight of all that energy that's not yours on your path can just feel like, okay, it's too much. It's too much. All right, so, but fortunately, it's very easy to deal with on an energy healing, with energy healing. So you imagine your spiritual path is like, it's a real thing, which is funny because it's not like, you know, your astral body or something, but you do have a part of your spirit that is on your spiritual path. And so you just imagine this path that's just for you in this lifetime. And even if you're, you know, you have a best friend or wonderful spouse or whatever, they have their own path, you have your own path. Even if you have a 6-month-old child, that 6-month-old child has his or her own path, you have your own path, right? So you imagine the road that's just for you. And if you're on your path, it'll be like a straightforward path. If you're lost on a side road, you might notice a side road and you're on the side road instead. So you can just have your angels get you back on your road. Say, angels, help me get me back on track, get me back on my spiritual path. And you want to be ideally on your path, looking forward and moving forward. And that represents, you know, making progress, growing at a nice pace. But you could be overwhelmed and sort of sitting on your bench, on a bench on the side of the path, and even just looking to the, you know, looking to the other side of the path, like not looking forward. Because you're just too much. You have too much. So just deal with the path right now. Just unblock it. Like imagine anything heavy on the path, including like if there are clouds over the path, if there are heavy walls around the path, anything that's not you, anything that seems heavy or weird or overwhelming or spinny or whatever. And just you can use gold sandstorm and just melt it all away. Gold sandstorm is like gold light that spins from gold light from your hands, but it spins in little bits like a sandstorm. So that's one way to get rid of all this junk. Another way is just to, you know, imagine it like hard stuff that you can lift out and give to your angels. Angels, here you go. So again, we are unblocking your spiritual path. So you just imagine all the heavy junk that's potentially making you kind of tune out and feel like you just can't handle being productive, or you can't handle doing a new project, even if it's fun. You just can't. So just imagine whatever dumped junk on your path is just too much, and just lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And just more gold light. And you can give yourself a healing, like definitely if you're on the bench, but even if you're on, you know, standing in the middle of your path, Give yourself a healing, lots of gold light, and just say, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes when people are unproductive, they get lost in like shame or feeling guilt or something. And that's like, then you have two problems. You're stuck and therefore unproductive. And then you're double stuck because you're stuck in shame about being stuck. You're stuck about being stuck. So we don't want that, right? So just try to diffuse the guilt and the shame about it all and just be like, hey, it's okay. You get a little stuck sometimes, but everybody does. It just means you're human. We can heal this. It's all right. No reason to get all doomy gloomy about it. It's all for learning. You're just learning to get stronger. It's okay. Lots of gold light. You can even do like a little tricolor soak for this part of you. Bring up red earth energy, and soak this part of you in red earth energy. Bring up orange earth energy, soak this part of you on your path in orange earth energy, and then bring up yellow earth energy from the center of the earth and soak this part of you on your path in yellow earth energy. And then just keep using lots of gold light. And again, just imagine on your path, you can have stuff even behind you that you've been dragging behind you that is just too heavy and it's making you turn off your mind. So imagine if there's any heaviness behind you and just, wrap all that up in gold light and lift it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, imagine anything behind you, even if it's like close behind you, like a backpack that's heavy, but it could be at a distance behind you and you're dragging it. And just wrap it all up in gold light and lift it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you can just do like a gold tidal wave, a gold tsunami behind you, in front of you, just up and down your whole path. Just lots of really powerful gold light to just melt away anything that's not you. If there are any invasive beings on your path, you could just say, angels, if there are any beings or being tunnels on my path, can you recycle them? Angels won't recycle like your dad or something, so don't worry. But if you do have your dad on your path, if you have somebody on your path, sometimes they just get so confused or like overly fixated on you. You may have a relative that like is overly fixated on you. They may like want to talk to you on and on and on and on. That's maybe a little clue. Or they just, that you just kind of know they're too much in your business. That they could be standing on your path. Like talking at you. So just you can have their angels, just imagine however many people there are like that, and just say, okay, angels, can you make little bridges back to their path for them, like little one-way temporary bridges, so that each of those people on your path, now there's a nice little angel bridge just for them, like just the perfect vibration to bring them back to their own path. And it's a temporary one too that the angels will get rid of once they go back to their path. And then just be like, hey, look at the bridge. Look at the bridge. There's a bridge that's just for you. Let your angels show you the bridge that's just for you. And then they'll be like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta take this bridge. Because the bridge is like the best possible vibration for them. So it pulls them out of their fixation. And then the angels get rid of the bridge once the people are gone back to their own path. And if anybody's still on your path and they didn't take their bridge, just say, angels, can you get rid of this person off my path? And then just use so much gold light, nice gold tidal wave everywhere, so that there's no like sort of empty space for them. It's just all your positive energy and strength. And you can just ask yourself, is this path unblocked enough so that, to help you be less bingy, right? To help you not binge or to help you be more productive. Is your path unblocked enough for that right now? If it's not, you can work on it more now or later. But if it is, you're good for now. You say, angels, please help me unblock my path. You could have invasive beings on there that are just like throwing energy in your face or something, and that can be overwhelming, obviously. So you can just imagine any invasive beings and just freeze them and lift them out, give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, any invasive beings on your path, just throwing energy at you, just freeze them, lift them out. Angels, here you go. Again, give a little healing to that part of you that's on your path. Just be like, hey, it's okay. Don't feel bad. You're learning and growing every day. Good job. All right, good job. Woohoo. So you can blow that up. Oh, we didn't really need this picture the whole time. Sorry about that. Alrighty, so that was part of our anti-binging healing. That was unblocking your spiritual path and giving a little healing to that part of you. That is on your path. Okay. So let's do 7th chakra devices. Get rid of those. So you just imagine your 7th chakra is in your head, in the top of your head. You have two, your astral body chakra and your physical body chakra. If you feel weirdness in this area, there are a bunch of things that you could heal and repair to get rid of the weirdness. Weirdness meaning any sort of a tenderness or something. You have your 7th chakras there, so they could be damaged. They could have hard objects in them. You have the meridians there, and those little points. Those are little points there that you see, the little dots. Those are chakras, little chakras. So they could be damaged. The meridians could be damaged there. So that the one going up the midline, that's GV, meridian, governing vessel meridian. So there could be damage there. And then this UB meridian on either side, the yellow line, that's also another meridian that could be damaged. Of course, the teal blue is a whole other meridian, but I think, you know, if the weird feeling is more localized, then it's probably the GV and or the UB meridian, you know, so that sort of like a bluish gray, the midline one that you see in the diagram, and then the yellow one, the two sides of the yellow one. So, and all the chakras within those meridians. So that's all the possible sources of weird feelings there usually. So we'll deal with all that right now. We will imagine all that. So you just have the top of your head, you have your 7th chakras in there. If you're present, your astral body chakra fits right in your physical body chakra. So you have your 7th in your 7th, inside your 7th. So you have those two chakras right there, and then you have the GV meridian and the UB meridian, both sides of that, right? So just heal and repair your 7th chakra. Maybe there's some hard objects there. Get them out. Give them your angels. Angels, here you go. Heal and repair your 7th chakras in the top of your head. You can have devices in your 7th chakra sort of attached to it, like a funnel or a bowl shape. So like, you know, something small like that that's concise, or maybe something that's a little more fanned out, you know. It probably wouldn't be this big, but I could show you anyway just for fun. So like this could be a device in the top of my 7th chakra. Probably be a little smaller than that. but anyway, so you can imagine the 7th chakra and any devices like that attached to it. They could be shaped differently, but whatever. Just imagine the devices and use gold light to loosen them and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So again, imagine both your 7th chakras Any devices attached to the top of your 7 chakras, just lift those devices off. Angels, here you go. And then, like I said, those meridians, they have energy points. You know, you can see the yellow UV, and then that one, the midline, the GV. So all those little dots, any of those can have damage. Those are little chakras, so you can repair all those. Melt cords going into them. And you can imagine a much bigger size than what's shown on the diagram, because, you know, if you want to imagine the flow in those meridians, maybe imagining them as bigger, wider tubes might be easier for your imagination to see if it's partially blocked. And again, red, energetically speaking, red is a good color for meridians, and your life force flowing within them. Red is a good color. And just take your time, you know, gold light on these meridians so that you melt away. Like there can be scarring on the meridian itself. It can look kind of like, you know, burnt and crusty. And again, you know, the top of your 7th chakra, just imagine if there are any devices there, and just use gold light and loosen them up and lift them out. Angels, here you go. Let's see if my husband wants to take Izzy out. All right. So again, what are we doing? We're doing the top of the head stuff, the stuff that's around the 7th chakra, including the 7th chakra. You can have devices on the underside of your 7th chakra too. Like your 7th chakra is in the top of your head, so the top surface is right here on the top of your head, but then this underside, that's important too, obviously. So you can have devices there. So if you have any there, just sort of imagine them and surround them in gold light, loosen them up, lift them out. Angels, here you go. So any devices on the underside of your 7th chakra, just loosen them up with gold light, lift them out, come to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, cool. So that work, obviously you can do whatever you want. Of course, when you have a headache, if you have a headache, if your headache is more to the side, then you can watch the, you know, all those little meridian videos that I have linked below. There's like a 12 meridian playlist, and you can, you know, figure out which meridian on the side here is bashed up. But a lot of times, you know, if your headache is more like central, or even just a tender feeling, you know, you don't want to wait till you have a throbbing headache or something. You know, you can touch here regularly, and if it feels like a little tender or a little tight, you know, that's a good sign that you need to unblock there. So that was removing 7th chakra devices, but also GV meridian and UB meridian around the top of the head. Just repairing and unblocking. And that helps with identity because your 7th chakra is really important for identity. Also, the GV meridian, the acupuncture point, like right at the top of your GV meridian, is called GV20, and You can imagine that one. It's oriented like this way because it's right at the top of the GV meridian as it travels this way. So it fits in there, and it's oriented this way. Um, and you can unblock that one in particular, and that's nice for like your mind, to like calm your mind and stuff. And plus, if you have tenderness up there, maybe that's what you need. So just imagine your GV20 acupuncture point. It's the little chakra in your GV meridian right at the top of your head. Okay, cool. Good job. So that was a little extra just for GV20. That acupuncture point in the top of your GV meridian, on the top of your head. Now we're going to do something kind of quickly, but I think it will be something that maybe resonates with a lot of people. So you can clear energy blocks that are specific to a certain situation. So a lot of times, in the surveys, people can, comment on the theme, and then there's a specific question that's been on this survey that's like, well, is there an example of when you want more strong identity energy or strong authenticity or self-acceptance? And so people have been describing specific situations like, oh, with this certain relative, I want to, stand my ground more, or with this, at work, or when I speak to a group, or, whatever. Like they specifically, or my kid, when he's in around groups of kids, he tends to lose his individuality. So those are specific targeted situations, and certain energy blocks will trigger in those situations, and you can do targeted clearing to clear those energy blocks so that you're more present and flowing in that situation, and so therefore you're at your best. You're improving how you feel in that specific scenario. So we'll do a few scenarios that were mentioned often in healing, in surveys. So we'll say clear blocks for specific scenarios. Yeah. For specific situations. And we'll just do, there were 6 that were very commonly mentioned in the surveys. So I'm not going to timestamp each individual one. You get the point. You can do them all. Why not? So that was explaining. So now we will do. So one of the scenarios that people mentioned is when they look in the mirror, they think something negative about what they see. So just put in front of you any energy blocks that trigger, even subconsciously, for you when you look in a mirror. So put all the look in the mirror energy blocks out in front of you, and just, red earth energy, ground them in red earth energy, lots of gold light, and run gold light through all your look in the mirror energy blocks. And whatever triggers when you look in the mirror, all those energy blocks, just melt them away with gold light. You can blow them up too if you're healing yourself. If you feel like, oh my goodness, there's too many, just say, angels, is it okay to clear all these? There you go. Okay, so one more time. When you look in the mirror, what energy blocks triggers, even subconsciously, and just put those out in front of you, and just lots of gold light and melt your look in the mirror energy blocks. All right, good job. So then number 2 scenario is meeting new people. That was mentioned in the surveys. So when I meet new people, I give off a weird first impression that later people realize isn't, it was misleading. And that's sometimes because you just have too many energy blocks that trigger when you're meeting a new person, and so your vibration's really different because you're triggered. So what energy blocks trigger for you when you're meeting new people? And just, you know, a new group of people or a new individual person, just pile out in front of you all the energy blocks that trigger for you when you're meeting new people, and say, angels, is it okay to clear all these? And then go ahead, red earth energy, ground them in the red earth energy, gold light, melt cords going into them, and just melt all these energy blocks or blow them up. So go ahead, melt these energy blocks. Okay, one more time. What energy blocks trigger for you on any level, even subconsciously, when you are meeting new people? Just put all those energy blocks out in front of you, and just, you can blow them up. You can bring up red earth energy, soak them in the red earth energy. You can bring gold light from your hands and melt them away. Melt cords going into them, and then melt the blocks. So you're melting blocks that trigger when you meet new people. If you have any leftovers, say, angels, help me clear these. All right. How about when company's coming? That's the third scenario that somebody mentioned in their surveys. That seems pretty universal, potentially. So on any level, what triggers for you when you have company coming? Either a person or a bunch of people, relatives or a friend, whatever. So even subconsciously, just what triggers in your space when you have company coming to visit? Okay, and just line up all those energy blocks, and you can blow them up. You can melt them with gold light. So these are company coming energy blocks. Just melt them with gold light. Get rid of them. You say, angels, help me clear these. And again, if you need to reground, go ahead and do that. Nice big grounding. And then again, put out in front of you any energy blocks that trigger. Easy, easy. Take it easy. Okay. Put out in front of you energy blocks that trigger when company's coming. Whatever triggers subconsciously or consciously when you know company's coming. And just bring up red earth energy, lots of gold light. Melt the energy blocks with gold light. All right, good job. If you have any left over, you can just say, angels, can you help me clear those? Now, the fourth scenario people mentioned is when somebody tries to individuate, like maybe when they're around a group of people, or just when they're trying to make a decision maybe that's different than what their family members would agree with. You know, when you're trying to be an individual and do something that's unique for you, you want to think for yourself, right? So what triggers in that situation when you're trying to think for yourself, you're trying to be an individual, maybe there's a little pressure from the group or from others, okay? Cultural pressure, peer pressure, whatever. So just put out in front of you all the energy blocks that trigger when you're trying to individuate, right? And just bring up red earth energy and gold light and melt the energy blocks. These are energy blocks that trigger when you want to individuate, do something different, think something different. What triggers for you when you want to be different and unique? All right. One more time. What triggers for you when you want to be different from your family, from your religious group, from your cultural group, from your age group, whatever. Just anything that triggers when you want to individuate. Bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, soak them in gold light until they melt, or you can blow them up. Whatever triggers for you when you want to individuate and think something different or do something different. If you have any leftovers, the angels help me clear that. Okay, so we're getting towards the end of our list here. Last two are, the fifth one is what triggers in social situations. That was something commonly mentioned in the surveys. So maybe you're at a party or you're at a family event or a cultural event or something. What triggers for you when you're in social situations? So just put all that out in front of you, whatever triggers making you feel weird, even just subconsciously in a social situation. And just bring up red earth energy and gold light. Melt that away. Or blow it up. You may need to reground at any time if you feel sleepy. Just redo your grounding. Big red or orange or yellow grounding. Right? And you can just unblock your grounding out in front of you. Copy of it out in front of you. Make sure it's unblocked and flowing. Okay, so again, social situations. We're doing that the second time. So what triggers for you in a social situation? Just put all that baggage out in front of you and bring up red earth energy and gold light and just melt it away. Or blow it up. What triggers for you in social situations? And if your pile clears faster, you can just clear more and more piles. And if you have any leftovers, the angels help me clear that. Okay, the final one that I picked, in part due to survey responses, is work situations. So what triggers for you in work situations? Maybe now you're a manager or supervisor in your job and you've never done that before. Maybe you just are trying not to get fired. Maybe you're just interviewing for jobs, but any work situation, what triggers for you? And just put all that junk out in front of you, all your baggage about work situations, and just bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, soak them in gold light, and just let them melt away, or you can blow them up. So this is baggage that triggers for you in work situations. All right, one more time. Work situations. Any work situations that you have, maybe they were old work situations. Maybe you're retired now. Maybe it's about productivity on a personal level too. You could stick that in. Any baggage about productivity in general in your personal life, but any work baggage too, like workplace baggage, baggage about employees, clients, customers, whatever. And just red earth energy, soak it all in red earth energy, gold light, and you go ahead and melt it away with gold light. If you have any left over, just say angels help me clear that. And of course, you know, those were the 6 little sub scenarios that people mentioned. But we can just do one in general too, just to show you that you can do. So we did the 1 through 6, and then we'll do the theme just all at once. So just any baggage that triggers when you're trying to move forward and make progress with your identity, with your self-acceptance, and with your authenticity. So any of that baggage, any baggage that's in the way of your identity, authenticity, self-acceptance, right? And you can just blow it up, just keep blowing it up, or melt it with gold light. One more time. Any baggage that's in the way of you making progress with your authenticity, your identity, your self-acceptance. And just, you say, angels, help me clear this. And just melt it away. All right, good job. All right, so you can redo your gold buffer zones again. You can do like a tricolor soak, big red grounding, bring up red grounding, red earth energy, and soak everything in red earth energy. And then you can bring that down to the level of your grounding at your third chakra there, and change your grounding to orange. And then bring up orange earth energy, up, 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 soak everything in orange earth energy. And then you can bring that down and change it to yellow grounding and use that yellow grounding like a big straw and bring up yellow earth energy and soak everything in yellow earth energy. And then you could leave that up if you want as yellow earth energy or switch the vibration of it to red or orange earth energy, whatever you prefer. Or you could bring it down to the level of your grounding and have it at red or orange or yellow, whatever you prefer. So you can just say, angels, please give me a healing. And just remind yourself, I can keep working on this with my angels in my sleep if you want. Your angels are always happy to help you grow with this theme, with any theme, but just remind yourself, maybe you feel like you feel guilty, you don't meditate enough, blah, 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 blah. There can be work you do subconsciously when you're awake and also when you're asleep. So just remind yourself, it's okay. I can keep working on this as much as I need. My angels are always there for me to help me grow. All right, good job. That's a healing. You're amazing. Woo, 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 woo. All right. So that is a healing. I'm going to do a little chit chat for about 15 minutes or so. If I don't have time to get to your question or comment, you could feel free to repost it under this video or any video at any time, and I will post a reply when I get a chance. So I'm going to catch up on the comments that were already made. Just general guidelines I mentioned every once in a while to remind people, please don't comment, make the comments for me. I'll read them. Don't directly comment to another commenter. I know that's completely unique, and most live streams it's the opposite, and everyone talks to each other and it's fine. But for this, I feel like because it's a spiritual experience, people are meditating, people are dealing with inner baggage and clearing it and trying to hear their angels, I think it's just most constructive and safer and gentler for everybody if there's no crosstalk between, the chat people. Obviously you get to enjoy reading people's comments, but please don't directly communicate with the other people individually. Hope that makes sense. And two, try to limit, how many times you're commenting, so that everyone gets a chance within the time period. Okay. Someone says when I'm working from home, I binge watch. Oh yeah, I read that one. Yeah, I read that one. Can see and hear you in Chicago. That's good. Thank you. Someone says, I hope I make it to purchase my first healing with you. Yeah, you can email me too, so I can make sure you know what time they'll go up. And, like if you're not on my news email list, I can make sure you're on it, because I send out the email like within a few minutes after the sessions go up. So that'll be like an additional reminder. I mean, you need to kind of be ready anyway, but I can make sure you understand the purchase process. So if you want, you can email me about it. Not like, that day, because I'll be kind of busy, but email me now or soon if you want. If you have any questions about it, or just say hi, make sure you're on my email list. Someone says, yes, my angel said, have faith and hope before I woke, but can't remember what they were saying before that. Do I need to do more to hear them when awake, or can they be louder? What else did they say? Yeah, I mean, it is pretty priceless to be able to hear your angels more and more accurately. It's not a question of loudness, though. So you can just keep working on blocking more. I mean, waking up, it's kind of a thing, because you have, you know, if you have blocks there, or just, it's just a big process to come back in, especially, you know, because 2 days ago you did an Akashic record upload, so you're probably like a lot of new energies coming in. So you can cut yourself a little slack that you didn't hear every word your angel said at that moment. But yeah, it's a journey. Just keep working on hearing more accurately, and you can always, you know, ask them to repeat themselves. It's not like, you know, you didn't hear it, then forget it, lady. You know. So I'd rather that you just keep working on it. I don't think there's anything that, you know, your life is ruined if I don't read it for you right now. You know, I think it's better if you just keep working on hearing your angels better. Keep unblocking your fifth chakra. What's that word I use? Fifth chakra filament. Chakra filaments is something we did in the healing 2 days ago. Healing 2 of 3. Unblock chakra filaments. Keep unblocking your fifth chakra filament. That'll help. And keep, you know, melting cords and unblocking and repairing your telepathic mesh in front of your fifth layer, and your whole fifth layer too, because it gets a little compressed in the back. I think with your manifestation wings better now, that'll start to clear out all the back of your aura layers. So, but anyway, yeah, it's not that they need to talk louder. On a spirit level, it's just, your hearing is good or it's not, you know, like nobody needs to yell on a spirit level, you know, it's just like a talking thing. But I mean, you can get distortion, you know, which you clear so that your hearing is better. And also they can, you know, they can work on different ways of communicating with you. So like, you know, like a visual thing. So you can put like a yes and a no, you know, you like obviously get your space first, but then put yes and no. Or like, you know, if there's a certain project, you know, put the representation of that project on a table and see if they push it off the table, like it doesn't matter. Or if they keep it on the table, or they just put it to the side. So it's not super important, but it's still a decent project, you know? So there are different like visual ways that you can work with your angels. So it's not all sound. It can be visual too, which is sixth chakra, sixth layer. So, but that's just something, the more you practice, the more it helps. And, you know, don't just practice with like the most consequential questions ever, because you'll be a little more triggered when you're trying to hear something really important. So work with things that are a little sillier too, you know, just so you get good at it. So this is, hi Janet, thank you for healing me and my spouse. You're welcome. From Still Too Sunny Phoenix. I wonder how hot it is there still. I'm assuming it's too hot because you're saying that. Yeah, we're not still too sunny. So this is, hi Janet, can't stay till the end. Just wanted to express my gratitude for how you're helping us at this time. Be blessed and all the best to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I really noticed a shift after the immune system work. Oh, good. Cool. And that will be timestamp linked, so you could do it again later. Of course, you know, it's easy, so you could freestyle it too. Someone says, I'm introducing tricolor soak to my kids by asking them at random moments, what color do you like the most, red, orange, or yellow? And one of your kids calls out gold, and he's 6. That's super cute. Yeah, so then they could use red earth energy with like gold sparkles. Because if it's just all gold that they're soaking in, that might not be as centering as earth energy. Earth energy is really good to like kind of get you here. Was feeling physically crummy before the healing, stomach ache, tired before the healing started, feeling much better and more centered now. Yeah, you had a bunch of wax into a lot of your Wei Qi auras, like right in the front. So there were like a lot of gashes right in front. And so that went into your CV meridian and some of the other tummy meridian ones. But good, glad you are better now. Yeah, your Wei Qi auras are healed up. So this is, thank you for healing me. I fell asleep after the foundation healing, the 4 essentials. How did I do with my meditation wings and binging? Yeah, the binging work, the anti-binging work that we did. Fine, your manifestation wings, they still could get bigger. They're getting enough starter energy, but maybe just work on surrounding them with gold light more. You know, so they just like grow and grow and grow. There's still like energy just kind of stuck there, like hard energy stuck here that just sort of wilts the wings. So sticky gold wax to the back of your wings and just pull out all the, spears and junk. And then just keep healing and repairing there so that then that energy doesn't leak out so much. And then, your wings can stay big and keep generating more and more gold light. So they're better than they were, but could still get better. So this is thanks for the healing, Janet. The other binging work, the clearing your path, you did very well, and the clearing dumped energy, you definitely rocked on that too. So just redo the manifestation wings work a little bit. So this is thanks you for the healing, Janet. I already feeling a bit calmer and loved the clearing of dumped energy. Yeah, from the tummy area. And the path. How am I doing energy-wise at my new job? Feeling overwhelmed, and I think a colleague, and you give her initials or his initials, may be in my space. I replaced her in new position, and she's been helpful, but I don't think I'm living up to her standards. She's in your grounding, in the back of your first chakra, and the back of your fifth chakra. So fifth and first and grounding. Yeah. It's like she kind of wants to be a parrot on your shoulder, and because she means well, actually. She just feels like she feels like she didn't have enough guidance herself when she started out, and so she doesn't want you to feel the same way. So just try to communicate with her on a spirit level that you need breathing room. You work better, you learn faster if you have breathing room, so that she can help you from afar, But she is trying to help you. So if you just say, get out of my space or something, or go talk to your angels, that might not, be like, you'll help me the most if you give me my breathing room. And I think that way, she's just a little lonely too, and she feels like, well, here's a way that I can, help somebody, and somebody can kind of understand me and what I've been going through. So you could also validate her and that she's been helpful and that she did a good job when it was her job. She just seems a little lonely. So just be like, great job, even just telepathically. A lot of people like being told great job. I like being told great job by my spouse. We tell each other great job all the time, just for fun. Alrighty. What else? Someone says, hey, Jana, I was following along and listening in some parts. Can you see how my energy is overall? Thanks. You're okay. You have some wax in the front upper part of your space. I did not heal you, which but just for context for others. But yeah, front and top of Wei Qi auras, like here and here. Got a little more repair needed there. Otherwise, the other essentials seem fine. You're kind of stalled on your path, though. I would unblock your path extra. We did actually a part of that in this healing, so eventually there'll be timestamp links. But you're not a newbie, so you can clear it yourself without my walkthrough anyway. So yeah, just unblock your path more. I think that's kind of why you're feeling a little stalled as far as your momentum, forward momentum. So yeah. But your manifestation wings are nice. Your creating wings are nice. Someone said, oh yeah, that was a continuation, which I read. Someone says, hi Janet, I recently moved and I'm struggling to feel motivated to unpack, paint the kitchen, buy groceries, etc. And he suggested I just want to rest a lot. Yeah. Well, your angel suggests maybe you bargain with yourself. Like, okay, I'll unpack one box and then I get to rest for a half hour, or I'll unpack, I'll just load up this, I'll organize this, I'll fill up this one cabinet and then I'll, do something else that you want to do. Or part of it is the monotony of it, because you're thinking like, okay, I should unpack all the boxes for my entire kitchen. and you're just not really, you're in more of a dabbling mood. So if you did like one clothing box and then one kitchen box and then one bathroom box, it seems like that would kind of appeal to you. You're a little bit commitment averse as far as like an entire room at once type idea. Maybe playing music too while you're doing it, that kind of idea. Just kind of lighten it up because it just seems like you're like, okay, get serious about this, honey, and you're just like, are you kidding me? This is such a big shift. So like just try to make it lighter, more festive, more casual, more like do, we're doing it. This is okay. You know. So I hope that helps. Um, so rather than resting only, your angels are thinking of sort of like relaxed productivity, casual productivity, that's more like variety packed and has music involved. Someone says, how did my self-healing go? I did not do the other 2 video parts. Yeah. So just go back and do the Akashic record upload. That would be particularly helpful with the binging stuff. Your creative wings are fine. Your manifestation wings are much better. They still could be even better, but I think if you do it on a different day, because they're a lot better than they were. And I think, sometimes it's just nice to process and exist the way you are now and then do it again later. So manifestation wings are good for today, do the Akashic record stuff whenever you want. You can even just say, angels in my sleep, can we do an Akashic record upload? You don't have to do it with the video. It's nice to do with the video because then maybe you experience it in a different way, but you could just do it with your angels in your sleep too. Your path is a lot more clear, but you do have like an odd white fuzziness ahead of you on your path, like white clouds that you don't seem to be getting rid of for some reason. So look for the white on your path, any white energy in particular, and freeze it and get rid of it. And just keep doing that. Also in your 7th chakra and the top of your 7th layer, any white, and just get rid of it. Have your angels help. Maybe you can do a red earth energy soak and just soak everything in red earth energy. And that might, kind of, because white is a super high, fast moving vibration, too high, too fast. And so red is like the lowest rainbow color. So it's nice and slow moving, and it's not too slow, but it's like, it could kind of get you off that white deal. So your healing was effective in a nutshell. And your essentials look okay. Chakra repair or repair. You could do a little more of like up top. You have some Wei Qi auras that are a little scooped out up top there, which could be why the white is up there. So as you get rid of the white, you can just finish up repairing your Wei Qi auras like up top right there. It's a little scooped out. So I hope that helps. Someone says, thank you, Janet. I think this is particularly impactful healing for my husband. Yes, you mentioned him in his surveys, in your surveys. Thank you. Daughter and me. How did they do today? They did fine. He was one of the sample people I was talking about with the manifestation wing work. And so it did help some of his compacted layers back there. But it's, it takes a little time for it to fully, but his manifestation wings are generating enough gold light now. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so you could like teach your daughter about grounding and that people are more crabby when their grounding is blocked. And grounding block can be true for anybody at any time. And you can get your grounding good and then, you go to work and then your grounding blocks up halfway through work. So by the time you get home, you're very crabby because your grounding has been blocked for 3 hours. It's like the tub drain. The tub doesn't drain right if it's plugged up, right? So you can start to teach your kid, basics about grounding as turn it into a teachable thing if you want. But yeah, they did great. Yeah, their angels give me a thumbs up. So this is, I feel very centered. How is my mom, who also got the healing? She had a rough morning and is flustered. Thank you. Yeah, somebody's whacking her. Yeah, I just said hi to her and said she can have her angels help her with boundaries. And so she's letting her angels kind of push the person away so she can heal up more. But most of the healing she got, so she's in pretty good shape. I mean, she's in 7 through 3, even though someone was really in the front of her aura trying to throw energy at her. So she should be starting to stabilize now. Her grounding got a little blocked, so I'm just mentioning she could redo her grounding, have her angels help her on block grounding. So yeah, she should. But yeah, it was a energy. Somebody's very triggered about her. Your mom can be a little triggering. But she's letting her angels help her now. So, but other than that, I mean, the healing was good for her. Someone says, thank you for my healing. You're welcome. I have been getting punched in the kidney by an energy. What can I do to heal myself, the other person, and stop the punches? I think it's more invasive beings and less people. I think it's invasive beings. So just get them recycled. I don't. I mean, like your sister, she's not doing it. Um, I don't know who else you're thinking might be doing it, but it just doesn't seem like it's people right now. It just seems like it's like a bit of a, like an angry storm cloud, which is just a bunch of beings like throwing stuff right there. So you just freeze them up and give them to your angels, freeze them up, give them to your angels, keep doing that. And just keep healing right there. Because the problem is you have some energy blocks there. And so it's an easy way for people or beings to just jump in kind of right there. So just do the, clear dumped energy in that whole front and then freeze the beings and move them out, clear the dumped energy, the hard stuff, and then freeze the beings and move them out. So I hope that helps. Your Wei Qi auras are pretty good right now because you got the healing. So I don't think it's a lack of Wei Qi aura protection there. Someone says their name, says thank you again for the healings. Please guide on which areas I and my spouse need to focus on the most. By the way, I have energy blocks when I look in the mirror. Thanks for the healing. Well, you can work on that more. A lot of people have that. I do need to hurry up. So, I mean, what you could focus on more is unblocking your spiritual path more. There's stuff from like your dad on your path, and it seems like women on your path, from your extended family, that's more on your radar. But the men that have dumped stuff on your path, it's not as much in your mind. Maybe because they had more gentler intentions or something, or they weren't as in your face or something, but you just have like heavy, they look like kind of big warehouse refrigerators and stuff, You have more heaviness on your path, like a slower moving, heavy, like dumps from guys on your path. So go work on that. More people from this life, but then you could do past life just too, but just keep unblocking your path more. Let's see. Someone says, I'm feeling a little better now, but earlier I felt really drained and unmotivated and not sure why I was still doing all my normal meditations. Well, that's why you want to be able to freestyle and be like, okay, what's going on? Rather than just like, okay, is there a walkthrough I can do? Because sometimes what you need is not in that walkthrough, So you want to be able to, just sort of assess like, okay, what's wrong? If I look at you now versus before, you did have like sort of sharp gashes in your aura in the upper back. And some, it was just pressure on your head meridians, but I don't think they just got really compressed and blocked your head meridians. What else? You were feeling drained and unmotivated. I don't think it was an issue with your path. You were in 7 through 3, which is not as present as you normally are. It looks like you had a lot of cords going into your first and second chakras in the front. So it was just kind of like you were partially checked out because your first and second chakras were, you're having boundary issues with your first and second chakras. So hope that helps. So maybe just practice intuition. How many chakras am I in right now? If you're only in 7 through 3, then something's up, you know, and it could be literally with 2 and 1 that the problem is, or it could be something else that's distracting you. But, you know, yeah, so it was just some damage in your auras in the upper back, but also a lot of boundary issues with your first and second chakras. And your Wei Qi auras in front of your first and second chakras, a couple of them were scooped out, damaged. So some Wei Qi aura damage and lower chakra boundary issues, like cords and stuff. So it says, hi Janet, how did my son do? And you're mentioning your name, so I know who you are. He did well. He was one of the sample people for the manifestation wings that really needed that, so that was nice. I mean, they could be better, but they're way better than they were his manifestation wings. He was also one sample person about the whole trying to individuate and what triggers when you're trying to think for yourself and do things for yourself, and, you know, versus what people want you to do. So, I mean, he did the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, his angels give me a thumbs up, so he did do the healing. He did the clearing and the repair and everything. I mean, I helped him, but, you know, he followed along. He was open to it. Sima says, yesterday was quite crazy at work, and I feel so relaxed now. Sometimes kids come to the lesson with really fanatic energy, and their parents are anxious. How can I prep myself better? Yeah, you know, I noticed, because you mentioned that in your survey, it doesn't look like you're owning the room. Like, as a teacher, you manage the energy of the room. You're the boss in the room. So I don't know, are the parents in the room at the time physically and that's why you're confused? Or is it just you and the students and for some reason you just forgot about being the boss? Because you're kind of like, on an energy level, you're kind of like some kind of a sibling babysitter that like people aren't listening to. Like, guys, mom and dad left me in charge and you're not listening. You have to like, it's a 7th chakra setting of just like, I am the ultimate authority of this room and people in it. Not like that you're invasive, but you set the tone for yourself and you set the tone for the room. You ground the room. You can do like tricolor earth energy soaks for the room when you're there, before anyone's there, while they're there, whatever. Like, you make sure the room is grounded. You make sure, you know, you can do a tricolor soak. You can have your angels clean out the room. You are the boss. Like, get your hierarchy going. Because especially kids, but I think everybody, you know, there has to be some level of order. Otherwise, it's just nobody's setting the energy of the room and it's just a big mess, you know? So it doesn't mean you're controlling the people in the room, but you set the tone for the room. You set the tone for the communications, you know, just work on your ability to have authority. Hope that makes sense. Don't be like some kid's sister. for your students. The person I read before says, also for some reason I'm feeling back and shoulder soreness. Thank you. Yeah, you're more present in your shoulders and your back because we worked so it's tension that was there before, but now you're there, so you feel it more. Hope that makes sense. So what you can do now that you're there more, that is good. But just you can imagine like a version of this for yourself and just keep keep gold light, make gold light for your wings and gold light for your shoulders here and gold light all around here. You know, you can imagine like a big gold blanket or something, you know, or, you know, lots of gold light, and just keep washing out all the stuck energy there, because there's been stuck energy there. There still is some, of course, but there's less than there was before, which is why you're there now and you can feel it. So I know that doesn't feel like progress, but it actually is. So just try to be nice to yourself, give yourself little massages, give yourself more gold light there. Just, you know, take out some stuck stuff, give it to your angels, take out more, give it to your angels. You know, imagine like heaviness on your shoulders and just lift it off, give it to your angels. You know, sometimes people that you know, intense relatives, dump stuff on your shoulders, like everything's your fault, right? So just imagine that everything's your fault rock that's on your shoulders and go, nope, give it to your angels. So you don't have to get that person to stop, you know, because they're just not well and they won't stop, right? But just imagine the rocks that they've been dumping on your shoulders and just lift them all up with gold light and give them to your angels, you know, and just keep healing this area. You need flow in and around and behind your neck and shoulders so that there's less and less and less soreness. Someone says, hi Janet, thank you for healing me and my family. What can help to strengthen my ability to get through with success on these tests? Well, it does seem like you have a lot of guilt and shame about not having passed them already. Like you have these expectations that you should have already passed, like in your space, you know, and expectations are very rigid, and you have shame and guilt about it. So it's like clouding everything, because you're like, it's like your mind is kind of blown. Like, I can't believe this. I can't freaking pass these tests. Like, what the heck? It's so embarrassing, so inconvenient. It's ruining everything, you know? So you're kind of stuck on baggage about, it's like you're stuck about being stuck, you know what I mean? So you just try to clear guilt, clear shame about failing these tests. And so that at least if this time you fail, you're not going to be ashamed of it. You're going to be centered and unashamed, if you want. I mean, that would be a step forward, literally. And then obviously, you know, once you're prepared to fail and not have shame and just, you know, then you can work on being prepared to, you know, do better, learn from the experience. So that maybe, okay, sure, you still don't pass, but you get to become a better test taker. You get to become a better studier. You know, so there's a continuum, you know, and passing is on one end of the continuum, and, you know, you're like here, so you got to get unstuck about failing and then get unstuck about studying more and get unstuck about taking the test. You know, it just seems like you're stuck about being stuck. There's a, you know, there's a reason, you know, like it's not like a pointless, just humiliating mistake that you've failed tests several times, this test several times. You know, there's, it's like you're clearing past life baggage about being perfect, about being smart versus being dumb, you know, past life judgments. You're clearing fear around, you know, your ability to earn steady income. There's a lot deep stuff with it. So you're not broken, you know, you're not an idiot because you've been failing this test. You know, there's really deep stuff, and you and your angels lined up the baggage for you to clear. They didn't just force you to, you know, do well the first time around, because they feel like, and you agree, that it's better for you to really clear this stuff and stop sort of sidestepping it. So it's not a mistake, and you're not spiritually failing. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. You're on your path with this stuff. So just try not to be stuck about the journey. Hope that makes sense. But other than that, I mean, you're clearing energy. You would just clear it like twice as fast if you weren't stuck about the journey. Like that. If you just own that you have some baggage from past lives and this life about being perfect, you have some judgment from others about if you're smart or not. You have some fears around, being able to have job security, being able to have a strong professional reputation, and so this triggers all that, so just keep clearing. Because your angels say you don't necessarily have baggage about, it's like you don't really have something that prevents you from learning this stuff. It's just that what it represents, all that stuff I just listed, and that's in the way, but it's not accidental that it's in the way. You're really meant to clear it, and it'll help the rest of your life and future lives if you clear it. So keep working, but just without the shame and the panic and all that. All right, so I think I'm gonna pick and choose at this point. Someone says, how did my friend do? Yeah, feel free to post under the video and I will be looking. I can look at that if you repost under the video. Thank you so much about my colleague. She's a total sweet person, so this helps a lot. Oh, good to know. Yeah, that's interesting. Someone says, hi Janet, how's my aura and energy now? You mentioning your name, I don't recognize that YouTube ID, so I'm thinking you just healed yourself. Because I don't know if I healed you because I don't recognize that YouTube ID. So you're saying, how is my aura and energy now? You're in 7 through 3. So you're moderately present and definitely more present than you were before you healed yourself. And your auras are pretty good. Your creative rings are good, and your chakras. You have some lower chakra damage, so I would redo chakra repair. You have some cracks in your lower chakras. Your grounding is pretty good. So I would say just redo chakra repair. But you're moving forward on your path. So you look pretty good, but I think if you get that chakra repair done, that'll help. So this is casual productivity. Love it. Oh, good. Thank you for the healing and the angel suggestions. You're welcome. So this is my God. I love you. Thank you for being you. Wow. That's great. I'm glad. Thank you so much. I want to be my true, peaceful, joyful self again and create amazing creations that inspire and give life. How am I now? And what can I do to help me? Help me. I did not heal you in this healing, which you know, obviously, but just for context for people. I would say redo aura repair. Your aura is way better. Well, is it way better than it was? Let's see. Yesterday, your aura. Today, your aura. It's a little better, but yeah, redo aura repair. I don't know if you followed along from the early part when we did aura repair, but you have some gashes up here at the top, you have some gashes in the back here, and some gashes in the front here and here, which is very common, so it's not like, oh my God, you have more damage, nobody has that and you do. No, it's like super common. But it really helps if you repair your aura, so you're not leaking energy and things work better. So do aura repair. Do creative ring repair, definitely. Your creative rings, 3 gold rings up here, we do that in every healing. So you'll find it in the, if you want to do it like soon, because I won't timestamp this healing until like really late tonight. It'll be in the comment section, a detailed healing summary with timestamp links. But if you want to do something like now that has all that, do the healing from 2 days ago, because in the comment section, there's already the detailed healing summary with timestamp links, and you can go and do all the basics that we do in the beginning, grounding, the aura repair, which you need to redo, and creative ring repair for sure. Chakra repair too. Yeah, you could stand redoing chakra repair. So I'm wondering if you did any of the basics, the 4 essentials that we do at the start, but you need them more. So if you did them, just do them again, like a couple times in the next couple days, just to make sure. Because like right now you're in 7-6, you're present in physical body chakras 7 and 6, and ideally you want to be in all your physical body chakras, although that takes time to build up to that. But So it's just because of the damage, particularly the creative ring damage, it just gets overwhelming, and so it's hard to be present. So then you're not at your best. So just redo the 4 essentials: creative ring repair, aura repair, chakra repair, and grounding work, and just keep practicing that. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Yeah, and of course, if anyone needs to or would like to purchase the December healings, those go on my website for purchase on the 15th, which is this coming Saturday, the 15th of October. And they sell out in under an hour, so you kind of got to be ready for when they go up. So all that information is on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. And if you want to be on my news email list, just email me and ask, and introduce yourself if I don't know you. But I'll be happy to put you on my news email list as well. Okay, you guys are awesome. And the next group healings I'm doing is the set of 2 healings, the October twin set, which is in like literally 4 or 5 days. Sunday, October 16th and Tuesday, October 18th. Usually they're a little further apart, but not this month. And that theme is going to be productivity and decisiveness, which I love. All right, you're awesome. So I will keep the camera on for the last minute so you can see my dogs running around right before I take them outside. Hope you guys are having a good autumn. Busy. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh boy. The bingo party. So there's Abel right there with his phone on, looking very cute. And there's Izzy with the big nose, and there's Daisy right there with her little onesie on. All right, guys, you're awesome. Take care. Have a good day or evening, whatever's next for you. Bye.